Here is your long, emotional, engaging 40-minute style YouTube story, written in smooth paragraphs with a powerful hook, full depth, and an inspiring ending. No headings, pure storytelling. You can ask anytime for image prompts, SEO package, or voiceover script. If you walk today, I'll clean every floor in this mansion barefoot, Daniel whispered, his voice trembling, but not from fear. From hope. Hope he had no right to carry. Hope the woman staring back at him in the wheelchair hadn't allowed herself to feel in 20 years. Her fingers shook. Her breath caught. And in that silent moment, a billionaire mother who believed she was broken, leaned forward. That was the moment life changed. But this story didn't begin in a mansion. It began with a mop, and a man who had nothing left except the love for his daughter. Daniel was a single dad, tired, bruised by life, and doing the best he could for his 8-year-old girl, Emma. She was the kind of child who found joy even in broken crayons. After losing his wife to illness and losing his job soon after, Daniel accepted any work he could find. So when he heard a private estate was hiring a janitor, he didn't ask about the pay. He just said yes. The estate belonged to Mira Ellington, a millionaire mother who had been paralyzed from the waist down for 20 long years. A car crash had stolen her husband, her ability to walk, and the pieces of herself she never managed to put back together. The world still respected her. The business community admired her. But she lived quietly, hidden behind tall glass windows, moving through the world in silence. People said Mira didn't talk much. Some said she didn't feel anything anymore. They hadn't met Daniel. On his first day, he and Emma arrived together, because he couldn't afford childcare. Emma, curious like always, wandered to the grand piano in the hallway and pressed a single key. The sound echoed through the mansion. Seconds later, Mira appeared, wheels rolling softly. She expected the usual: apologies, stiffness, workers who feared her. But instead, she found Emma smiling at her. "You look sad," the little girl said innocently. "Do you want a hug?" Daniel froze. Mira froze. The entire house froze. Mira blinked hard, swallowing emotions she hadn't let surface in years. Maybe another day. She rolled away quickly. But from that day on, Emma made it her mission to talk to Mira, about butterflies, school assignments, clouds shaped like cats. And somehow, Mira didn't avoid those conversations. Meanwhile, Daniel noticed something strange. The wheelchair footrests were always slightly scratched in a way that suggested she tried, really tried, to move her feet. He saw her fingers clench when she tried to shift her weight, saw the small tremors in her legs when she thought no one was looking. She hadn't given up, not completely. One evening, Daniel caught her alone in the therapy room, gripping the bars with white-knuckled desperation, sweat dripping down her face. "Don't," she said sharply. "Don't pity me." "I don't," he replied gently. "But I see you fighting. And you shouldn't fight alone." It was the first time someone had spoken to her like she was still whole. She stared at him, hesitating, breaking, and then she whispered, "I used to dance. I was good. My husband, he said he fell in love with me because I didn't walk, I floated." Daniel stepped closer. "Maybe you can float again." She laughed, broken, bitter. "I haven't walked in 2 decades. Maybe that's long enough." From that moment, something changed. Not just for Mira, but for Daniel too. He stayed after work, helping with small exercises, supporting her legs, talking her through the fear. Emma drew pictures for her, Mira smiling, Mira standing, Mira dancing, with the words, "You can do it, Auntie Mira." The days became weeks. The weeks became a rhythm. But progress was slow, painful, emotional. Some days she cried. Some days she refused to try. Some days she told him to go home. But Daniel stayed, patient, steady, honest, not afraid of her wealth, or her pain, or her silence. And Mira began to look forward to the sound of his footsteps. Then came the day, everything changed. A storm knocked out the power. Mira panicked. Being stuck in darkness made her relive the night of the accident. She trembled uncontrollably, breath short, heart racing. Daniel rushed to her and held her shoulders firmly. "Look at me," he said. "You're safe. You're here. You're not trapped." Her breathing steadied, but something inside her cracked. She whispered, voice shaking, "I'm tired of sitting, Daniel. I'm tired of watching life from a chair. He looked at her with the kind of belief she hadn't seen in anyone's eyes for 20 years. "Then let's stand," he said quietly. "Right now." Her eyes filled. Her hands shook. But she nodded. He lifted her gently. Her legs trembled violently. Her face twisted in pain. "Just try," he whispered. 1 second. 1 breath. Then, slowly, she straightened. For the first time in 20 years, she stood. She was crying. Daniel was crying. Even Emma, watching from the doorway, began to cry. Mira collapsed into Daniel's arms afterward, exhausted but laughing like she had rediscovered life. The next months were full of breakthroughs. First, a few seconds of standing. Then, holding onto the bars. Then, one small step. Then another. Then another. It wasn't magic. It was pain and determination and a man who believed in her when she had forgotten how. Finally came the moment captured in the opening line. Daniel knelt beside her wheelchair and whispered, "If you walk today, I'll clean the entire mansion barefoot."